Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is again you Patel, and please don't mind the mess back there. Yes, and today we're gonna learn biology. Hey. Okay, enough. Yeah, so we're gonna learn about bread mold, which comes in Kingdom Fungi. So basically, we're learning about Kingdom Fungi, but we'll be more focused on bread mold. So hope you enjoy. Let's begin. Yes. So I've made this PPT for you to understand on bread mold. We'll be learning about bread mold, which is characterized under Kingdom Fungi. So these are the contents. You can go through them. Introduction to classification. There are thousands of millions of living organisms on planet Earth. Do you think scientists would be able to study them all separately? The answer is no, of course not. That would take an unimaginable amount of time. So, to overcome this issue, scientists have classified all the organisms into groups based on their similarities. Classification is the process of classifying organisms into groups based on the similarities and differences. Classification is the process of classifying organisms into groups based on the similarities and differences. Very important definition. Classification makes studying organisms easier. Advantages of classification. Classification makes the study of organisms systematic. The characteristics of all members of a group can be understood by studying the characteristics of only one member of the group. So it makes the study of organisms systematic, and the characteristics of all members of a kingdom, of a group, can be understood by studying the characteristics of only some members of the group. Classification helps us in identifying organisms and placing them into groups. Also, by classifying organisms, we can understand the evolution of organisms from the simple to complex forms. The Five Kingdom classification. So, organisms are classified in five groups. There are Kingdom Monera, Kingdom Protista, Kingdom Fungi, Kingdom Plantae, and Kingdom Animalia. And we'll be learning about Kingdom Fungi, further bread mold. And these are some examples of each of the five kingdoms. Kingdom Monera, Kingdom Protista, Kingdom Fungi, Kingdom Plantae, and Kingdom Animalia. So these are the characteristics of Kingdom Fungi. Fungi may be unicellular, multicellular, or filamentous. Nuclei are distributed throughout the cytoplasm. It's like the nuclei is spread like an it's spread throughout the cytoplasm, throughout the cell. Chlorophyll is absent, that is, they cannot prepare their own food. Like plants, they cannot prepare their own food. They have an organized nucleus, so they are called eukaryotes. Cell wall is present. They are saprophytes. They may be harmful as well as useful. Store their food in the form of starch. The nuclei of the fungi are very small. So this picture is a pic of bread mold, and bread mold is a type of fungi commonly seen growing on stale bread. And the scientific name of bread mold is Rhizopus stolonifera. So its scientific name is Rhizopus stolonifera. Rhizopus stolonifera. Yeah. Structure of bread mold. So the bread mold grows in the form of fine threads and form cottony masses on the surface of things such as bread and cheese. These threads are called hyphae. Some of the hyphae are root-like and grow downwards, while some may grow upwards from the surface. And when many hyphae are together, a network of hyphae is called mycelium. Mature and erect structures bearing rounded bodies at its tip start growing from the hyphae. So the erect hyphae are called sporangiophores, and the rounded bodies are called sporangium. So this is a diagram of bread mold. These are the hyphae, and these are the sporangiums. And as you can see here, this sporangium is bursting, and these spores that are contained by this sporangium are dispersed into the air, and when they land on a suitable substratum, they grow to form new mycelium. And we'll learn about this in the next slide. Reproduction of bread mold. So in sexual reproduction, the hyphae of Rhizopus stolonifer touch the hyphae of another Rhizopus mycelium and fuse to form zygospores. After some time, the zygospore makes another sporangium, which forms spores. The spores establish a place where they can turn into a new mold and begin to grow. This is really confusing, and most of you guys out there won't understand a single word. So, in simple and understandable words, the sporangium and sporangiophores, the erect bodies and the rounded bodies, are the spore containing bodies. And when the sporangium bursts open, as we saw in the diagram in the previous slide. So when the sporangium bursts open, many spores from its body are dispersed into the air, into the surroundings. And when these land on a suitable substratum, each of the spores grow to form new myceliums. Where does bread mold live? Bread mold lives on anything from which it can obtain nutrients. And bread mold prefers moist environments, and that's why fruit and bread are most vulnerable to bread. But of course, these are not only the factors. Um, Black bread mold is found in all countries of the world because the mold spores are airborne. The mold can spread easily, and also the temperature and the location where the uh, so the temperature and location also has an effect upon the speed at which the mold grows. So now we'll see examples where bread mold lives. These are some examples where strawberry. Oh, respiration in bread mold. Okay, so this is a very easy concept. All so respiration in the bread mold is mainly aerobic, and they respire in the presence of oxygen. And this is the reason why they are seen growing only in the top layer of the bread. This is a diagram you can refer to in pause the video. Digestion in bread mold. So even this is an easy concept. All that happens is the hyphae of the bread mold. So the hyphae of the bread mold secretes digestive juices into the bread, and these enzymes convert the starch present in the bread into a simple sugar. So starch that is present in the bread is converted to simple sugar due to these enzymes, and this simple sugar is also called glucose as we use it. This is then absorbed to the body surface and is stored as glycogen. Digestion occurs outside the bodies, and the nutrients are absorbed directly into the hyphae. Okay? How do molds live and grow? So mold, unlike plants, which get their energy directly from the sun using photosynthesis, get their energy by digesting organic matter similar to animals. So mainly mold get their energy by digesting organic matter. Fungi have no mouths or stomachs, but instead they absorb sugar directly through the mycelium as they grow through or over the food. And all the cells in the fungi use that sugar to live and grow. And we can explain how bread mold does this in 4 steps. So first, the cells in the bread mold absorb sugars in their environment through the thread-like structures via the chemical process of digestion. Then the small organic molecules move to all the cells in the fungus. Then what happens is that all the cells get energy by combining molecules with oxygen. So then what happens is the small molecules combine with oxygen in the process of cellular respiration, and that's how all the cells get their energy. At last, um, large organic molecules are made by from small organic molecules in the process of biosynthesis. Easy. Advantages and disadvantages of bread mold. So these are some advantages and disadvantages of bread mold. Mold is useful in gardening. Some molds that grow on bread are beneficial in the production of food. Some examples are mold on cheeses, sausages, breads, and soy sauce, and they usually add to the taste of many of these products, cheese, sausages, etc. And also when this mold is combined with special food plus a healthy lifestyle, very important, cultured mold can be used to reduce cholesterol. And of course, the main disadvantage is that it spoils bread. And a very big disadvantage is that mold can cause problems as common as allergic reactions and respiratory problems. Like some diseases it can cause are ringworm and athlete's foot. And some very serious and dangerous diseases are some types of pneumonia. These are other examples of kingdom fungi. This is of course a mushroom, and this is ragged fungi. So what if kingdom fungi was not existing in the world? What will be the effects? If kingdom fungi was not existing in the world, then the effects would be both good and bad. It would be both positive and negative. So some of the good effects would be food, leather goods, and textiles would not be spoiled by fungi. And many crops are susceptible to fungal attacks. So, of course, in the absence of fungi, they would probably enjoy themselves. And yeah, there will be less infection and diseases. And some of the negative effects, some of the bad effects would be that people working in bakeries would need to find another way to make bread. Yeah, of course, as bread is made from a type of fungi, haha. And less vitamin B because bread mold is because Kingdom fungi is a good source of vitamin B. And the number of good decomposers will decrease from the world because just like bacteria, fungi too are good decomposers. And a very um, important point is that penicillin, an important antibiotic, is obtained from a fungus called Penicillium notatum. And of course, there are other antibiotics too, which are made by some or the other fungus. So if fungus will be absent, these important antibiotics and others would not be made, and that would be another great loss. Thank you very much. Thank you.